everyone, Karen, the Warp Spinster here. Today I'm doing something a little different. I have been feeling like I really need to get to UFOs. I know we all say, I've got all these unfinished objects, except, well, there are some quilters who see a project right through before they start another one, and I don't know if I don't trust them or I admire them. That is not me, let's put it that way. So I made a list last week of some of my UFOs. Notice that I have a date here. These are the ones that are the priority for right now. I have many, many more. I just don't need to tell the world how many more I have. So these are my priorities for right now, and I like to have lists to help keep me accountable and focused. So I am going to start doing an accountability thing in my planner here. This is not my day-to-day catch-all planner. It's just a disc-based, a happy planner that I am commandeering for this purpose. We'll see how it goes. There may be some amendments here. So these aren't necessarily in order of, in fact, they are not in order of preference here. So one of the things that I want to do is focus on a couple of them every week and then sort of keep track of my progress on it. Years ago, I had a notebook, just a small notebook about this size actually, and I would write every day that I quilted, how long it was and what I worked on. And for some reason that really helped me with, I don't know what. So I'm going to try that again here. I expect I'll make some adaptations to what I do here. So I have this list of UFOs that I'm going to start whittling down, I hope, and then I can certainly add more in as I do these. So I have started already the first spread just to kind of put my head around what I wanted to do, and this is not anything that anybody in the paper planning community or in the bullet journal community, they're probably going to have heart palpitations, and not in a good way, but it's going to serve my purpose. The reason I'm doing a little bit of decoration on it is because it makes me more likely to open the planner. I've just found that there's a bit of decoration, just helps me to think, oh yeah, I've got something to look at besides my progress, which hopefully will be encouraging, but we'll see. So each week I'm going to choose 2 things to focus on, and then I'm going to have boxes here for each day of the week where I can record what I have done on a particular day, and it will be blank if I don't do anything. Then I also have a reminder down at the bottom that finished is better than perfect. So I'm going to pull these out to work on. Nice thing about a disc-based system, can be easily pulled out. So I've got the week that this is going to cover, and then lines for focus. And I think I've got it mapped out to where I can do 3 days over here and 4 days over here. We'll see how that goes. I want to give myself just some room to see if I can get these reasonably straight and sort of evenly spaced. And if I have to go over onto another day, it's not a big deal. But this starting one will give me some idea of how well this is going to work. Is this enough space for me to use to do that? Do I need more? Etc., etc. So I have little tick marks here for where it's reasonably evenly divided. Sometimes I tend to do more quilting during the week than on the weekends, and sometimes it's the other way around. So it just depends on how much illustration and surface design work I'm doing, how I'm feeling, because if I'm feeling bogged down, then I need to go down and quilt. It's just a fact of my life. All right, so we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It looks like Tuesday is bound to be a don't do much work or just do one thing for a very long time. So then I've got a ink pad here and some number stamps from Stampin' Up! And my card making and scrapbooking days. And I think I'm just going to stamp the days on here. Probably not going to be whiz bang. I have no idea how old this stamp pad is, for one thing. And I'm not taking special care to line it up because this isn't for an art contest. I'm just designating the days for, where is my 4? So I'm kind of wondering, some of the quilt projects that are UFOs that you all are contemplating or perhaps are actually working on, which would put you ahead of me. But I'm going to be working on that now. 7. There's my 7. All right. Not perfection in stamping by any means. Probably need to recharge that pad. But, so that lays that out there and gives me some room just to write as small or as large as I need to. It's like doing an essay in school. Do I write really large or small? And for my focuses, my foci, I am going to choose, I have a guild meeting presentation and a class to do in a little less than 3 weeks. And several of these things are related to that. So I want to really get them to a point where I feel comfortable transporting them and showing them even if they aren't completed necessarily. So the Christmas Bargello is a sample for the class, and I did finish piecing it yesterday, but I still need to quilt it. I'm waiting on the backing, and then it shouldn't take me long to quilt it. So that is one of my priorities, is to get that quilted, and the binding will come at some point. The Wild Wiggle Big Stitch and the Puzzled in Pink Big Stitch I can put off. I can still show those quilts without the big stitch. I can describe it. Wiggle Room binding and Puzzled in Pink binding, I can still show them. It's not going to mess things up if I transport them. So those aren't real high on my priority list. Passing the Torch I could actually show without it being quilted or bound yet. We'll see how that goes. Some of these other things will probably come up on priorities later on, but I think the other priority is going to be the Rocky Mountain Meadow. I'm doing some hand applique with just a blanket stitch on that one, and rather than have the pieces fall off during transport, I would really like to get that finished. So I think those will be my 2 priorities for this week. So we're going to have the Christmas Bargello, which I'm going to quilt. No big crisis if it doesn't get bound. Whoops, quit. No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to quilt it. And then the Rocky Mountain Meadow applique. I can actually abbreviate these a lot for myself because I know exactly what I need to do. So those are going to be my 2 foci. That's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm hoping that I have enough room here. I think I will. I think this is pretty good space just to record it. And I do like to record the amount of time when I'm doing this. I so often have people say, how long did it take you to do that? And I generally have no concept beyond a long time or not that long. Not as long as you'd think, or worse than you'd think. So I think that's going to be it. This is just a short thing because I'm just starting this process and I want to see how it goes and adjust it. I may find that I can get paper that is dot grid or lined paper or whatever for the size of this planner, but at this point I'm just kind of on the cheap. I cut my own pages out of paper that I have on hand, but I may decide that it will be better for me if I have some kind of guidelines for writing. Not that I really care if it's going to be really neat or sloppy. What I'm doing here is, this is an accountability thing. So I will plan to do a sort of plan with me, UFO plan with me, every week where I update on what I've done and then plan for the next week. I think this is going to help me, and I hope you all find it of interest. Please share in the comments what kinds of UFOs you're working on, or if you're one of those whiz kids who sees one project all the way through. I'm amazed. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It helps my channel to grow. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye. Peace out.